Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go through our 2024 planner lineup that I have so far decided for myself. It may or may not change. I'm still humming and hawing about some things, but I have my candle burning here. I have my little corgi Starbucks mug I got. It is literally the cutest thing. Not sure if you guys can see. And then it even has a little paw disc here. Okay, and let's just get started. So, in my last video, obviously I did the unboxing of the Sterling ink. Oh, I just like bumped the camera. The Sterling ink unboxing, and I was very torn between two planners, whether I wanted the A5 or the B6 as the contender. So I have settled on the A5. I do feel like I probably just will need it more next year, something that's a little bit more heavy lifting and be able to do everything that I need it to do. So very quickly, I know I kind of already went through how I use my work planner in my unboxing, so if you guys didn't watch that, very quickly, yes, I did splurge. It's an agenda cover. Not gonna go too much into it, but you just get a pocket like this, and then this is a pocket you can put here. You're supposed to put your cover in here, but whatever. This is from Temu. It's just a transparent sticky note. This is from Moody Cats. I think this is from Alberta. It's also a Canadian store. There you go. We know Coffee Monsters Co. very well. I just have some stickers I think that will be very funny and fun to use for work. I don't have to use them, but they're just there if I want to. And recently I bought it on Etsy shop. Is Daisy Papers. I did not know she was local, like literally my hometown local, like Tawasin Delta. Like I grew up in Delta too, so it just really hit home when I saw the postage. I was like, oh my god, that's where I used to live. So small world. I just thought I really like these meetings and these day off stickers. I didn't want something that's like super cutesy and too big. So I think these will work very well in my planner, my work planner. So these just live here. And then this is from Milk Tea Co., I believe. Any sticker shop that I mention will always be linked in the description box below, so don't worry. And so yes, Sterling ink, A5. So again, this is how I will be using it for work, is to basically dot down the colors of when I work, when I'm sick, when I go on vacation. So from a year in a glance, by the time I finish, I should know how my work life was like. For example, this year I was off from March to June. I had surgery and then I recovered and I came back to work full force. And I know I'm going to be very busy straight into December, all the way through January, all the way past Q2 and Q1 and Q2. So I do want to know how I work this year, because I am contract based. I haven't decided what I'm going to do here. Probably nothing, to be very honest. I usually don't do this just because I feel like nothing ever goes according to plan. As much as you want to plan something that is very goal specific, especially for work, and especially in my line of work, I just don't think it's attainable because there's so many factors into it. There's so many people that can factor in, not just yourself. So I feel like there's just too many chess pieces going on where not gonna write any goals. I'm gonna write when my contract ends, when it starts and when it ends, how much I'm getting paid with how many homes I sold. Again, I'm in the real estate industry. And then also last year, what I did was I wrote down basically like 31 days of the week, like 31 days or 29 days, whatever. And I would like have a graph of how many hours I worked. So it's not just by like a weekly basis. You know, some people have like a weekly tracker here, but I want to see it monthly, like the whole month. Because sometimes I work 12 hours, sometimes I only work 6 hours, but then sometimes I work 14 hours. it happens, you know, and then sometimes I work 14 days straight, 1 month straight, things like that. So I want to see it more from a monthly perspective. So hopefully that'll fit. And then here again, how many homes I sold, and then times X based on how much commission. So I know how much commission and how much money I'm earning in each quarter. And then if I see a trend, and then so if I do take a couple months off, I know how to spread out my money and my finances. So that's how I'm planning on using this. So far, I just put paydays and some coworkers' birthday and some stat holidays. I work on every stat holiday regardless. I don't get stat pay, but it's nice to know because sometimes we will have sales programs or promotions during these times, and basically it's almost like you don't actually get days off, which is even worse. Here, I think I will divide it into 8, like here, until 8 p.m. I usually am off by 8. And so basically high-level stuff that's happened today, some priority tasks that is happening throughout these days, and then a running list of to-dos. And then once they are done, I populate it into the weekly to know when it was done or who visited, things like that. And then I am going, it's my day per page. It's going to be based on projects. So I have kind of started writing what next year kind of entails, just because my current project will roll into the New Year's full force during that time. And so I'm kind of already getting ready for it. So that kind of all lives in one place by January. And then it's going to be tabbed by the projects that I'm going to be in, and I'm not going to pre-tab them just because by the time I finish one project, it will kind of segue / I have a better understanding of timeline of when my next project will go, even though it's happening simultaneously. And so then I'll kind of know how many pages I kind of need so I can gauge it better. So that's how I'm going to be using my work planner. Yes, moving on, I keep hitting the camera arm. I'm so sorry. I have 2 Hobonichi cousins. Very ambitious, I know. Let me just talk about the Han first. It is the English version. This typically or usually or back in the days is not really my aesthetic. It's not something that I used to like or I would even gravitate towards. But I originally bought this planner knowing that I buy a Hobonichi cousin every year, you know? And so I stickered it up, I set it up, and then I was walking by a stationery store one day here, and I just saw this book, and I actually froze almost, like dead in my tracks. And I just looked at the cover for a really long time, and the first thing I thought of was my mother. My mother did pass away just a little bit over a decade ago, so in my early 20s. And so now approaching 30s, or in my 30s, I do miss my mother a little bit more and more, dare I say that, just because we never got along when I was really young. It was really bad, but anyways, not a trauma story. But as I grew older, I have been able to forgive my mother through therapy. And I actually do end up missing my mom actually from time to time. And so this planner actually is more dedicated for me. And what I mean by that, not to sound narcissistic, but I do want to go into the next stage of my life, whether it's getting married, having kids, excelling at my career, etc. I feel like I need to show up for myself, improve on myself, upgrade myself in order to give and provide for the people that I love. And so this planner is for my personal growth, and I want to be able to see that reflecting back. I want to be able to write letters to myself and maybe to my mom on the days that I do miss her and telling her currently how I feel and what I'm going through. That's obviously not something I would want to share on the internet, but that's kind of the reason why I got 2 Hobonichis, just so there is one I can share on the internet, and then there's one that I just hold very sacred in my heart. So that kind of is my thought process to it. Obviously, I stuck the page in between. This is from Coffee Monsters Co. I haven't really decided how I'm going to use this part. I mainly will probably use it for as a mood tracker, just because I do get a lot of headaches, and I do feel like it is effective based on my mood. So I do get CT scans every once in a while, just so I'm all okay. And then I kind of want to dedicate maybe this part to morning journaling, because I am a very vivid dreamer. I dream every single day of my life ever since I could remember. And so maybe I'll write something in here, or maybe I'll put it in the dailies. And the dailies is just something I already spoke about. Basically, just journaling, whether it's my therapy sessions, letters to myself, letter to my mother, something that's more personal and what I am currently going through. And yeah. And then my Hobonichi cousin, obviously Coffee Monsters Co. Everyone loves Coffee Monsters Co. But this is something I think I want to be able to share with you guys more. So I do plan on taping this together. It just looks so much better. I feel like you do look at this more. So originally I had bought this one before I bought the Han, and I had already set it up. And obviously this is my planner that I do love stickering up. I love back date journaling, catching up, and then also doing my dailies. It is definitely going to be a lot more different, I feel like, in terms of my dailies, because before I felt very obligated to fill in all the white spaces. But I think I'm going to take a different approach this year. And I think it's something that I think I would enjoy a lot more, just because it has been working for me. And so far, I'm going to use this as more as a high level like daily tracker. So when I charge my car, when I read, when I journal, when I take my vitamins, I think these are very simple tasks that I can and will finish daily. So I feel like if I put something like exercise every day, run 5 miles, or whatever it is, I feel like it's too specific where I feel very overwhelmed. And if I do miss a day, I just kind of like spiral. And so these things like charging my car, for sure, every 5 to 6 days, I'm going to charge my car. So I am going to put something in there. I almost read every single day, whether it's listening to Audible. I do count that as reading in some ways. And in journaling, I feel like that's something I obviously will be doing daily. So I think that is more attainable in terms of the goals I have set out for myself. And then in the monthlies, I probably will use this to set up videos, and also back plan to know that what I will, there's a lot of holidays going on in Japan in May. I was just like, wow, there's a lot of red. But basically this is my, whether I put birthdays, appointments, like who I meet a friend for dinner or lunch, coffee date, things like that, it's all going to go in here. And then the weekly, I usually back plan, just because I like to use kits, and it takes time to take all my sticker kits out and sticker it up, film a video. So that is a process itself. So usually I will have my this basically filled out in a very high level, really in chicken scratch, just so I can like back populate it when I film a video for you guys. And then for journaling here, or my diary, I feel like I'm going to take a different approach this year. I felt very, very obligated to fill in all the white spaces like in the last few years. And I feel like that's just way too much pressure on myself if I have a haunt and I have this one as well to fill in. And I feel like that's just way too much. And I know I'm not going to succeed. What has been working for me so far this year is I got a printer, and I have been putting stickers in. And I think that I'm kind of like pre-printed them and kind of backdated them. Let me show you a spread where, like, if I see something like this and I take it off a bookshelf and I flip my dailies and I see this, I knew exactly what happened that day. I knew what the highlight of my day was. And obviously I have 2 dogs, so I love them very dearly. They're a very, very big part of my life. I don't have any kids in my right now. So I always look very forward to going home. I look forward to staying at home during my days off, because anytime I just want to spend it with my dogs, and I am a big fan of the breed, so I have a lot of stuffies, even my Christmas lights. It's like staring out the balcony of a sausage dog. And obviously this is when I filmed my video for you guys. So just looking back, I feel like this is something that's very doable. This is something that's fun, and this is something that when you look back, you knew what happened for sure. Like, I went to a doxy meetup basically, and it was Halloween themed. There were 72 sausage dogs there at the dog park. That's insane, you know? And when I look back, I'm gonna remember this day very vividly, 100% for sure. So I feel like doing something like this is definitely more approachable and definitely more doable. This is when I had a photo shoot with my dogs, and that's my boyfriend there. So yeah, a big part of my life is work and my dogs and obviously my partner. My boyfriend, he's very nice to me. And so I think I'm gonna do this more like scrapbooking / more diary, I feel like. And that's kind of how I want to do it. I have some Polaroids here, and even like in the beginning of the year, I wrote a lot. I even had my dog in a hanbok, like that's a Korean traditional clothing. So I feel like, you know, I felt very pressured to fill this all in, but now thinking back, like, it was just too much. And also, it's not every day I'm very passionate about what I want to write, to be honest. I think by then I was in Taiwan and I had a lot of issues. I was in surgery, post-recovery and things like that. So I definitely was not in the mood like when earlier this year, I would say. So I'm picking myself back up and kind of resetting myself ready for the new year. And I'm gonna have a game plan, and this is my game plan. Oh, I haven't talked about my weeks. I almost ended the video. So this is my Hobonichi weeks. So sorry guys, all over the place today. So very quickly, not gonna do anything for this. Haven't really tabbed anything up. I don't usually tab my Hobonichi weeks. Usually I have the Midori like little index clips. Very high level, just birthdays, holidays, some grooming appointments. Oh, one thing I am doing here in the yearly here. This is all for my dogs. So Haru and Miso, whether they're getting groomed or just a trim, they had a vet visit, when I brushed their teeth, when I brushed their furs, when they threw up. So basically if they're not feeling well, and if they had an accident in the house. My dogs are fully potty trained, but Haru, for example, a few months back was peeing in the house quite regularly, and we were like, what is happening? Like, she never does this. And then turns out she had a UTI. So little things like that, when you catch it, I think it's good to know. So for example, Haru has a grooming on January 13th, so that already has been penciled in. So that's how I'm going to use this. It's mainly for my dogs. And then the weeks, I feel like I'm going to continue to use this how I have been using it. So I usually will draw a line here, and it will show basically, this is kind of like a setup that I did. So basically some high level stuff, or like a highlight of what's going to happen that week. And then stuff that's happening particularly that day. I usually write my dinners and what I had. I usually don't eat breakfast or a very late lunch. Sometimes I only eat one meal a day. And then I have my habits, and then I have basically like cleaning, a lot of cleanings usually. I feel like this list is getting longer and longer as each week progresses. And the reason why I don't put it in the back is because I kind of want to be able to match and know when I have time to do my cleaning or what is currently outstanding in my cleaning list, so that I don't have to flip back and forth. So that's why it's there. Yes, I do shop a lot. I do buy a lot of stickers. So I have packages always coming, especially during the end of the year. So I do keep track of this just because I live in a condo. Things get lost, things get stolen, even though we have parcel mail, like a drop off. It's just a thing here. I'm not really sure why in particular. I never really had that problem, but that's just kind of how I use this section, just so I kind of remind myself also, like, you bought a lot of stickers, stop buying stickers. So yeah, so that's kind of how I'm going to use my weeks. And then in the back, I usually will just use it as like a book tracker. So I read 20 books or more this year, so I'm going to go back and look at my Audible list and then just basically download or print out the pictures and then just stick in the back and write my review. So once I'm on holiday break in December, that's kind of a little project that I've given myself. So that's how I'm going to continue to use the weeks. And I basically just throw this in my work bag as well. It kind of goes everywhere with me. And so that's kind of my planner lineup for this year. So I have my work, my personal growth, and then I have the planner to share with you guys, and then I have my weeks. So yeah, I know it's a lot. I feel like it's very intimidating, but I feel like 2024 is the year to get shit done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and you're having a not so great day. I do hope your day gets better, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.